What's up and welcome everybody, I'm Mike Karpenko, and on occasion I break down in-home fitness videos. Most of the time they're Beachbody ones because I've got a long-term relationship with them. This time it happens to be Bodi Lava, their latest and greatest program, 6 weeks, 5 days a week, a focus on mobility, flexibility, and body weight strength. Stick around because I am currently doing the program. I'm not just breaking it down, I am 2 weeks done and I'm going to give you my phase 1 feedback. I want to jump in. Full disclaimer. There are 3 phases in Bodi Lava. This is my experience with phase 1. I have actually completed phase 2 and phase 3. And before you watch this video, I want you to know there are some things that when I get into phase 2 and in phase 3, they didn't exist in phase 1 and they got better in phase 2. Some things continued and some things, well, they may or may not gotten better. I wanted to come in here and tell you, phase 1 is not a fair reflection of the entire program, but what I think is a fair reflection of phase 1. In my opinion, allegedly, all the stuff that I need to say, but here you go. You know the deal. Like, subscribe, comment, ask me any question that you want. I'm here to answer your questions because the more you do that, the more these videos get out to be able to help people with their budgeting and pairing them up with programs that actually work for them rather than just doing something for the sake of doing it and not getting any results at all. Let's dive in. For the most part, yoga-based, flexibility, mobility, body weight strength. Who's it marketed for? Well, they say intermediate to advanced. I say, yeah, they're pretty much correct. There's no way a beginner could do this. Not at all. They're pretty general, intermediate to advanced level. It's not like they're saying that it's for male or for female or any particular anyone, right? It's just intermediate to advanced that want to work in those areas. Flexibility, mobility. Who do I think it's for after doing it for 2 weeks? Definitely not a beginner. I think that if you are really challenged around flexibility, you're going to be quite challenged around this program. Think about that before getting involved. I personally have an ankle injury. I also have a shoulder impingement that I've been dealing with. I don't believe that it is for somebody who's got a shoulder impingement or any type of shoulder injury at all. If you're looking for this program to actually help you with your shoulder, I don't believe that it's the type of program for you. You're just doing a bunch of stuff that's going to aggravate and inflame your shoulder, and you probably should be doing physical therapy and or posture exercises. If you got a shoulder injury, this one's not for you. Going into this, here's what I'm thinking. I like to lift weights. I generally pick things up. I put things down. I don't add a lot of flexibility and mobility. I used to do a lot of stuff around yoga, and I got completely away from that when we got for whatever reason. I had ankle surgery and then I started to just lift weights. I am feeling it. So I am hoping that this program is going to help me with my general mobility and flexibility, and then I'll figure out what happens after 6 weeks. I have no other expectation other than that, but I have worked out with Elise before in person. Like, she used to teach and instruct yoga at the gym that I belong to, and I would go to her class 4 to 5 times a week. I was fairly diligent back then. Then I got into this work mode where I wasn't moving at all. And let me tell you, and as sitting as much as I have been and concentrated solely in work, I feel myself not being able to move as well. And maybe that's what's causing my shoulder impingement, because I've got poor posture because of me sitting so much. So what I'm looking at right now is to get myself upright and in a better position and to, I don't know, just feel better in general, because I have not added in flexibility or mobility into the ingredients of what I need to be healthier. So let's freaking do it, man. Before I started the program, what were my hopes or my expectations? You know, I didn't really think that it was going to solve anything specific. And in some mobility and flexibility, I think that that's the biggest thing. Well, I'm hoping that it's less yoga, more athletic moves. I hope that it kind of matches their marketing. I hope that I feel better. I know that there's so much more to flexibility than just being able to touch your toes, that there's bind, there's all kinds of things that are involved. And I'm really hoping that that will free up and overall I will feel better. I don't think that I'm hoping that any specific area is going to be great. I don't think I'm going to sleep better. I don't even know, to be honest with you. My hope is that I'm going to do something completely different than what I'm currently doing to produce results. That's what I'm hoping. What those results will be, I don't know. I just know that currently I am bound up from sitting and that I need to do something about it. So hopefully this program will provide that over the next 6 weeks, and we're going to see how it goes. My day 1, I don't think is any different than anybody else's who's been sitting for a long time. It was a reality check. Yep, I didn't move well, I didn't bend well, I didn't do things that I used to be able to do that I thought I still could do, but yet I knew I couldn't. It was just one of those things where it brought on awareness. I sat back and said, I used to be able to do these things and I can't now. How much did I lose and how much can I get back? It was hard. I will say that straight up. I was in a tornado. I was challenged right from the get-go. I was reminded I'm not bendy, that I need blocks, that although the program says you don't need any equipment, guess what? You need a block. It puts you in the right position. It reminded me of going through my past yoga journey of, modifying, Mike. You got to get into the position that you don't have to muscle everything that you do, that you have to go through some breathing patterns and you have to concentrate on stretching and elongating muscles, ones that don't want to be stretched and elongated. And if you're like me who sat for a majority of years, that's the way you're going to feel too. The good thing is that although I was a little confused in the beginning and unsure, 20 minutes was over before I knew it. So I didn't beat myself up too much. It was hard for me during the workout. And truthfully, I was disappointed in where I've gotten to. I think that that's a big thing for me, where I was like, how did somebody so fit, who is fit, who looks great, who does great, who feels great, really is not that fit? Really let being me, I let my flexibility, mobility go by the wayside when I stand here talking so much about the ingredients that go into a healthy recipe. I neglected exactly what this program is giving me. As I beat myself up at the end of the workout, I also had to say to myself, this is really great because it's making me aware. And if you're going to jump into a program like this, or this particular program, look for that week one to be assessment and data collection, and not what you can't do, where you're at, what you've done to yourself, but rather awareness of what you're going to be able to work on in the coming weeks. And it was that mindset that helped me get up for the next 5 days at 6 a.m. That was a commitment that I made to myself, was 6 a.m. Get up, start your day with this, and it would be over in 20 minutes and go on from there. So for the next 5 days, that's exactly what I did. Regardless of how well I did the program or how much it challenged me and or reminded me of the things that I wasn't doing, I was just becoming aware of what I needed to work on in the weeks to come. And then did I see any physical changes? The answer to that is no, absolutely none. The only way that I would have seen them is if I was dedicated to a nutrition plan, counting macros, calories, portion control, whatever it may be. I really truly believe that most results that you're going to see posted by anybody will be from their nutrition mainly. Like almost 80-90% is going to be that, because ultimately I did put on a calorie counter, I put on a strap, and I was burning about 110 to 130 calories a workout for everyone in the first 2 weeks. So I think that if you're gonna look for calorie burn or physique change, that you're going to have to look at it through nutrition rather than in the program itself. As the week went on, I kept thinking, will I see physical changes? Will I be able to touch my toes? Will I be able to get through a move better? Because a lot of these moves repeat themselves. Even though she puts them in a different workout, they're kind of the same thing over and over. Wash, rinse, repeat. A little bit of a group exercise instruction, not so much personal training, with concentrations. There was endurance, there was HIIT, there was yoga flow, there was her own creation, fusion, but they were all kind of the same, but different. So I don't know that I really saw any physical changes. I wasn't like, oh my gosh, by the end of the week I could touch my toes, or by the end of the week I could do a certain move. That's not what happened at all. First week, data collection, assess what was going on, and then head into the next week. And I think that having that type of mindset for you when doing this program is going to be excellent and help you get through the first week and then into the second. And I'll teach you that system as we go forward, learn, apply, and then stress and test, all those kind of things, so that you too can get the most out of the program. And that goes into week 2 as well. I would love to say that this was a training program. I really just feel it's more of a group exercise, and that although week 1 has a certain set of workouts and what they're called, they are not the same workouts in week 2, although they are kind of the same. It's like same, but different. It's like yoga fusion and then primal fusion. So it's like the same thing, but different. I don't know how to put that other than it's kind of like a way of marketing the same workout but make it different so that you're not bored, but do the same thing so that you'll still get the results because it's the same thing. That's the best way that I can describe it. I definitely think that the system that I have and I coach people through of step one, assess and data collect. When you're in that phase, that really helps motivate you through week one or phase one, however you want to put it. So you're not stressing yourself out on getting results. You're in a phase where you're like, I just need to note where I'm at, what I'm doing, what's my level, what's my awareness, so that I can then get into the next level, which would be to learn and apply. So then you're like, okay, I took all this assessment and data and awareness, and now I'm going to apply it, and I'm going to learn through my application. That would be the next level. And then the third level would be where I'm nowhere near, right? I am in week one. I'm going to accomplish that alone. And then week two, learn, apply. I'm going to accomplish that. And then week three, I'm going to put stress on myself, and I'm going to test what I have learned and applied rather than just going through it. So if you know that system going in, it really helps you stay motivated, especially in flexibility and mobility, because I'm going to bet we all need it. I mean, look, I'm sitting in a chair now and it's not helping me at all. I probably should be standing. And that's what we need to consider as we're going through this, is the awareness of how many hours we're actually sitting versus a 20-minute program, and understanding that expectation of, if I do this for 20 minutes a day, will that negate the 8 hours that I'm in a chair? It's not. And I think that awareness alone as you go through the program is going to help you stand more, walk more, move more, stretch more, do the things that you need to do, and get out of the chair. The other thing that I'm going to look for as I get deeper into this is how much less I have to use the blocks. I think that's going to be something I'm going to be able to judge my success around, because right now I think I have the blocks in my hands all the time so that I can elevate the floor, so I can get into position, so I can stretch and actually get the benefit of the workout. If you don't have blocks, I'm telling you, you need to get them no matter what. Don't just sort of kind of think you can get by. Get the blocks. The other thing that I'll say is that there is a pre-week. Okay, and that is something that she says you should take that so that you can learn the moves, and then you can end up getting into week one. Call it a 7-week program instead of a 6. Do the pre-week. Do all the things that you need to do in order to maximize your efforts. You spent your money, you spent your time, you might as well get the most out of it. All right, let's talk nutrition. I know that there are some before and afters, progressions, transformation stories, whatever you want to say. That's where they're coming from. I do not believe in my heart of all hearts that in general, that the movement of this program is creating results that are visible. I just don't believe that's happening. I think that they're happening because it's being combined with an excellent nutrition plan, and people are committing to that on top of moving. If you weren't moving before and you're moving now, well, yeah, movement is going to be part of it, but it's not going to be a physique change per se. So as far as my nutrition, I'm still on a higher protein, lower carbohydrates, decent fat. I don't count macros. I'm not counting carbs. I'm not doing any of that. I would say that if you really wanted some sort of visual results, that you're going to want to lock into a nutrition plan, and that's where your efforts need to be for the visual results. As far as supplements, should you take them? Was I on them? I wasn't. I haven't in the last 2 weeks really taken a lot that would involve my workout. There's no pre-workout. I don't need something to bump me up to give me energy to work out for 20 minutes. I didn't need it, and therefore I wasn't on it. I still stayed on my creatine. I love that for the cognitive thinking. I love that for the mental acuity. I love it for general health. So everyone's going to ask that. Creatine, I'm on it 100%. Do I think you need a pre-workout that's great? Not if you're not doing an additional workout on top of this. I don't know if that's something that you should or shouldn't do. Right now, I'm just going to concentrate on this. Do I think you need to lift, or do I think you should lift, or can you lift? That's going to be up to you, right? I currently am not. I am 15 weeks into my shoulder of not lifting and working on posture and all the things that I need to be able to do. And that's why this program is complementing where I'm at perfectly. But I also think that if you're in a position that you want to improve your flexibility or mobility, that you're looking at a way not to bind yourself, which you normally would do when you're doing strength training. It's just an outcome of HIIT, strength training, high intensity workout. workouts is more bind. If your goal is to become more flexible, then you're probably going to want to do things that are less stressful, which means 6 weeks of this type of program would highly benefit you as long as you are in a concentrated nutrition plan. If you're worried about that type of physique or losing muscle mass, probably going to lose it over 6 weeks because you're going to lose some strength gains, not much. But as long as you feed yourself with ample enough protein and stay mobile, you're going to be fine. I didn't feel like I needed a lot of recovery either. I felt that it was 20 minutes. I was in, I was out, I was done. But then again, I'm active. I feel athletic in general. So I don't know that this was the kind of thing that I would need recovery from, because I really couldn't get into the positions or exercises that she wanted me to be able to get into because I don't have that ability. Therefore, my recovery was not as needed. I am all for 8 hours of sleep. The one thing I did notice, however, which is kind of funny, and I don't know if this is a reflection of me, but a lot of people doing the workout, or I've seen people post, and they are just drenched in sweat. And I'm scratching my head thinking, how? Why? Are you not working out in air conditioning? Is it too hot where you're at? I don't understand why the sweat's happening. It didn't happen at all to me. I don't even know that I had 1 ounce of sweat dripping off me. So I can't measure the workout by how intense I felt, how I felt I got my butt kicked, or how much sweat that I drove, or calories for that amount, right? Like, it's just not going to give me positive feedback. What I can judge my workout on is whether or not I showed up, that I got it done, that I'm feeling better, and I'm becoming aware of the things that I need to work on to live a healthier life. Like, I think that that's really the big thing and takeaway, especially in weeks 1 and 2, is exactly that. Let's just get into the pros and cons, the things that I liked and the things that I struggled a little bit with, and you might struggle with as well. Number 1. The pro was it brought about awareness of what things I need to work on, which is that flexibility, that mobility, and what I have not been working on. I had to be careful that I wasn't going down a rabbit hole and beating myself up. And I had to think that it's not too late to course correct because I was becoming aware. And in the first 2 weeks, it's brought back a focus on mobility and flexibility that need to be vital ingredients in me being healthier. And I think that that would help you as well, that you're like, hey, it's just not things I thought of before. I skipped the warm up, I skipped the cool down. I didn't really work on my flexibility on a daily basis. That ability to either refocus on that or begin to focus on that, major bonus. Another bonus, it's over before you know it. I started it. Yeah, I struggled a little bit. I got a little heady. Next thing you know, it was over. I felt good. I moved on. That alone, without having to be like, how much time do I have left? Oh my gosh, what's going on? That 20-minute window just to work on something very specific like flexibility, I think is a really good sweet spot. Along with, it's a fairly easy program to follow along with. Not a lot of moves, so you're repeating and you get the gist of it and you're able to do it. Yes, there are some compound movements, and yeah, there are some goofy moves, but you know what program doesn't have that? That's kind of mobility, flexibility, home fitness based, so you're not bored. So as far as that goes, it's relatively easy to follow along with for the most part. Also, it goes along with follow along workouts. That bonus of, hey, I need to work out so that I can get some guidance from someone who's an expert instructor that can be able to guide me through a workout program, cue me along so that I can finish a workout from start to finish and not have to think about it in true in-home fitness fashion. It delivers. Without a doubt, I think that that's what Bodi does well. They produce high quality follow along workouts. Another thing you can check off, very little to no equipment. So if you don't have a home gym and you're worried about that cost and how are you gonna be able to do this, it requires very little equipment and very little room to do. Phone, TV, whatever you may need, some yoga blocks, a mat, grip and rip. Check off that you're not going to feel wiped and that you're going to feel actually energized leaving the workout, because you're not going to blow through a whole bunch of glycogen and you're not going to get your butt handed to you. You're going to get your ego checked, but you're not going to feel as though you went through a crazy intense workout where you've got to refuel, figure out your energy sources and move on throughout your day. I actually felt good after each workout. I think exactly because of that reason. It's a program that's going to reward you for your consistency. The more you show up and the more you participate, the more you're going to be rewarded with more mobility, more flexibility. It's that type of program. It's not going to deliver on the scale or in your physique or calories burned or making you feel incredible because you just got your butt kicked. That's not this workout. It's more of a, I showed up, I got participation reward, I got momentum, and now I'm given that reward of more flexibility. The cast, the people in the background, pound out, punch out to whoever did the casting for those people that are there with Elise. They're both great. They look great, they talk great, they move great, they're really good. I think it just flows with the set, it flows with her. If she was part of that, Elise, you did a phenomenal job, and whoever did it, you should get a bonus, because it's one of the first videos that I've been able to see that the cast is just awesome. And I've been in them, you know, I've been in videos before and I'm like, do I fit here? Like, is this something that I should be doing or not doing? Those two in the background fit really well. And the fact that they weren't mic'd up and Elise didn't have conversations with them about anything else other than the task at hand. That interaction that Elise had with the camera rather than with the cast was perfect. And again, those two people in the background, you guys are awesome. How could I forget Elise? She's athletic, she's strong, she looks fit, she's good. I mean, like, I've taken classes with her at the gym. She's amazing. It's one of the things that I've always liked was the way that she taught seamlessly when we were at the gym. I know that the environment is a little bit different when you put a camera on you and you're selling a product, you're doing a product, you work for a corporation rather than doing your own class. But I think she over-delivered here and she did a great job. Elise has always been one of my favorite trainers at the gym that I go to. She's not there anymore, and I definitely think that she showed up strong, fit, and prepared. So hats off to Elise. I also threw this in before. I burned 110 to 130 calories per workout. So at the high end, I burned 390 in an hour. If that was the case, if you multiplied it by 3. So you people that are counting calories, yeah, you're gonna burn calories, you're gonna feel good. You're moving, right? No matter what, you're burning calories and you're getting more mobile and flexible. It's gonna happen by you showing up over and over. So those are my good points. Now let's talk about the things that I struggled with, because I have to be fair, right? What I push, I pull. What I pull, I push. And I'm here to tell you guys that there are some things in here that if they upset you too, maybe it's not the right workout for you. Let's talk about the things that I wasn't so happy. I know I'm gonna get pushed back on the first one, so let's just say it. Elise saying it, them saying it, the company saying it, that it is an athletic-based program. It's not, okay? It's not. It's a yoga fusion program. It is not athletic-based. What Elise probably did was use some of these movement patterns, exercises with athletes that she's helped become more flexible and more mobile. This is not an athletic training style program. So can we just take that off the table? And I understand why you're doing it. You want more men in body. You want more men to do the program. You want it to be attractive to more men. I get it. And athletes. There's female athletes. Pound out to all you guys. It's not. It's yoga fusion. So if we could just go forward on that and leave it at that and move on. So let's leave the marketing terms out of workouts and just concentrate on making it a workout program that people can get results with. Next, I know that I personally refer people to use this program. I know that I help people with this program. I know that there's a lot of tools in Beachbody. But to say this is the most comprehensive program ever made at Beachbody couldn't be any more wrong, because P90X slaughters this. I'm just going to be open and honest. If you want the most comprehensive workout, I would lean towards P90X. It is the most comprehensive. P90X2, that is. That's the most comprehensive program. Do I think that it involves push, pull, twist, hinge, squat? Yes. To call it the most comprehensive workout just because it includes flexibility and mobility? No, I don't think that that's it. So I don't like over marketing. However, I do understand if that's the stuff that you have to say, if that's the copy you have to write, the marketing that you have to create so that it gets people to buy the program because they needed that type of help, well, that's a whole nother argument that you can make. But saying that it is the most comprehensive program, I don't know. Seems a little bit off for me. It's not my thing, but I do think if you're saying that so you can get people to purchase so that you can help them, then I'll stand behind that type of language, but I still won't stand behind that it's the most comprehensive workout on the platform, because it's not. Lower body check, upper body, not so much. There's not a lot of upper body. There's stability. There's a couple push-ups here and there, but it's not really an upper body based program where it is more of a lower body movement program. So if you're looking to do anything along the lines of gaining a lot of upper body strength or thinking that your upper body strength is going to outdo your lower body, it's probably not going to happen. So lower body, check. Upper body, yeah, maybe a little gray area. Next one on the list, it's a group exercise program. It's a 20-minute group exercise class. It is not a training program. I just don't feel that way. And again, that's going to be my opinion, allegedly. I don't believe that it is a training program. I think it's a series of group exercise classes put together in a way that could help you with your flexibility and mobility. There, I said it. I don't know if that's going to be a popular decision. Certainly not a dig at anybody or anything, or at least I'm just saying it's more of a group exercise instruction than it is personal training. So if you're looking for personal training, hit me up. I will point you in the right direction with a better program on the platform. Here's going to be a tough one. Let me tread lightly, but let me explain as well. It goes in line with the powers that be and the database. So this one's kind of like a give and take, and it all just depends, right? Like Elise is a female, the girl that does all the great yoga stuff, who's the super bendy girl too, and does all the extra stuff. Well, she's a girl. The modifier is always a guy. It never changes up. It's always the guy's the modifier, the guy's the modifier. And at least that's in week 1 and week 2. It could change up as we go on. And if it changes up, I will definitely comment on that. But I think that for 2 weeks to make the guy the modifier completely, when you're touting that it's an athletic-based program and you want more guys to do it, I think that you would put the guy in a more empowering situation rather than, yeah, it's the guy. He looks great, by the way. I'm just going to keep saying it. He looks great, does the job great. He's awesome. It just made me feel like, man, you missed the mark. You didn't make a guy look powerful at all. You just made him look like a modifier. Do better. The one thing I will say is this. If you're a guy and you're looking to how to modify like a guy would, that's exactly why you look at the modifier and how good he looks doing what he's doing. He's amazing at doing that particular job. It's not inspiring. Yeah, that's where I stand. It's not. So if you're looking for a workout and a program that is less group exercise style and more on specific areas, hit me up. I'd be more than happy to guide you and point out some other ones that you could do in place of this. This is just not going to be that feeling. It's more yoga fusion. I think that because it's more of a yoga fusion and it's for intermediate and advanced, not beginner, remember that, I do think that you can lose your place and have to look up and be like, where am I at? What am I doing? Did she switch sides? What did we do? What happened here? I do think there's a little bit of that going on, but listen, again, it's like a group exercise class. I know that when I'm taking classes, often I'm like, oh, they're going left now, I went right, or they're going up and I went down. So that kind of little bit of confusion can happen in the workout, but it's to be expected and it's not a bad thing. It just is the thing. There's also another thing I'm not used to. It's not a bad thing. It's something I'm not used to. She starts the workouts more on camera right than on camera left. Usually you see a trainer move this way. So with all the experience and all the habits and consistency that I've always been going this way. So for me to start on this side, it throws me off just for a second to have to look over that shoulder at the TV to be able to see what the next move is. But that's semantics and that's a personal problem that I have. But just be aware that she starts on a different side than normal, still highly effective. And then finally, I think that I push back on what I thought was a pro too. It's only 20 minutes. It's only 20 minutes. I need more mobility, but that's the beautiful thing about 20 minutes. I can stack it. I can do more. There's other workouts that she has that are buildable on it. There's the pre, there's the post, there's additional. So she has that ability, which is awesome. But in the state that I'm in and the work that I need to have done on myself, again, selfish, that I'm going to need probably more than 20 minutes to counteract the 8 hours that I usually sit in this chair and grind away, right? Reminder, we need to get out of our chairs. I feel that doing 20 minutes a day, although I should be doing more, I probably should be doing 40 like I normally do with my other workouts. I felt great after my workouts and I can't wait to see where this goes in 6 weeks. So I'm not downing it. I just felt like, man, how much better could I feel if it was 30 minutes or if it was 40 minutes. But again, stackable workout. She's got some other things that are involved in there that you can bring in. You could do the workout over again. I think that that's a big major bonus. The last thing I'm going to bring up is more of a tip than it is a con. I think that when you look at the first 2 weeks of this program, there's a lot that could really help people. And the way that I would look at it is that even though I said I wanted 40 minutes, I think doing week 1 for 2 to 3 weeks and 20 minutes in the morning and then 20 minutes in the afternoon or 20 minutes before bed would produce monstrous results in the mobility and flexibility for anybody. I really think that would set you aside. So if it's a goal that you have to become mobile, This is the way I might program it a little bit differently for you, and it could be a longer program for you, which would be awesome. 20 minutes in the morning, 20 minutes in the evening for week 1 for 2 to 3 weeks. I would do the same for week 2, 2 to 3 weeks. I would collect that data and then I would assess. And this would be because you'd be able to learn the movement patterns, you'd be able to do the do, and you'd be able to then see the results because you'd be able to develop the skill of those movement patterns. So I think that there is a high possibility of you being able to do that. And if you are really dedicated to improving your flexibility and mobility, that might be the road that you want to be able to take. Because although there are a lot of repeated and similar moves so that you don't get bored, they just name the workouts differently in week 1 than they were in week 2, but they are the same, so they link together, and therefore they help you with your boredom and your ability to show up, but yet still programmed. So I do see that as the bonus, but I also see that if you're concentrating on getting specific results, you might want to do the same workout, but set your ego aside and just be like, it's cool, man, I'm just going to do week 1 over. And I think that that will produce some incredible results for you. And if you don't want to do an evening and a morning, I think that you could still do week 1 only for 3 weeks in the morning or wherever you're going to do it at night, and not have to do doubles in a day. I do think doing doubles gives you a high possibility of changing your life. And I would say your job is not to crush the workout. Your job is to get more mobile and more flexible. And if you go at it from that point rather than burning calories, in 6 weeks, you're going to see some incredible results. All right, those are my first 2 weeks. I don't have any success in physique or weight loss, but I do have the participation trophy to say, here I am, I showed up, I'm moving closer to becoming more mobile and more flexible, which is very important to me, with a bunch of awareness on what I haven't been doing and what I need to work on. It's extremely successful from my standpoint in the first 2 weeks. We'll see what happens in the next 2 weeks in phase 2, and we'll go from there. Again, the pros, the cons, it's not like they're really anything that big, but if you have any questions about any of it, comment down below. You know me, I'm going to keep it honest, I'm going to keep it real. I want to make this first 2 weeks as honest as I possibly could, because I want you matched up with a program that fits your budget and fits your time and then your expectations. Ultimately, what I really want is you to hit your goals. So if you have any questions or that you need that help in hitting your goals, reach out to me. I'd be happy to pair you up, point you in the right direction, help you, assist you, get you into a group, get you into my online gym. Whatever it is that I can do to help you further your own wellness, hit me up. Until then, think bigger, eat better, move more.